Good morning. If you'd like to see how we restored this bow-back kitchen chair, then come along with us, because that's what we're going to do today. Good morning and welcome to another Memphis Monday 196. I was hanging out with my neighbor and she said, I told her I was looking for a restoration or a repair project. I had some building projects, but I really like restoration. And did she have anything for me? And she said, well, you can fix that chair over there. So I went and looked at it, and it almost didn't look bad enough to fix, but then I got a great idea. This is going to take some, we're going to have to replace the bow in the back of the chair, and we're going to have to fabricate that. So that's going to be pretty neat thing. But nothing neat's going to happen unless we do what? That's right. We need to knock off the chit chat, go over there, take a look at that project, and get to work. Here's the chair. It's actually in pretty good condition. Naturally, some of the joints are loose. We can fix those, but the biggest problem's down here. Let me show you. In most restoration work and repair work, this isn't restoration, this is repair, but you got to end up fixing other people's fixes. And what's happened here, this bow on this bow back chair has delaminated and cracked. Well, what they did is they put wood filler down in that crack, and so when I tried to put glue down in there and squeeze this back together, the glue wouldn't hold. So I'm going to have to replace this bow here. And interestingly enough, the bows are connected with screws and wedges and glue, so they're not going to be easy to get out. And to make matters worse, all the glue joints are right there. See that little black dot? That is a brad. And all these glue joints down here, so you can see that little black dot. See another one right down there? Those are all brads. And I've tried to, and all the chair legs, go into the mortise, but every one of them has looks like a drywall screw drilled in to secure it. Drywall screw. So let's see what happens when I tap that wedge. Oh, it went in. It went in. That means it went in. That means it'll probably come out. Unbelievable. See how that glue was broke? That right there, that glue, they put glue on it, but it failed. Oh, so that's good. I couldn't get the wedge out on this one. The glue didn't give on it, but I think I might be able to drive it out because it seemed loose. Well, the reason the bow won't come out is because the back here, these are connected with these brads, and so it's holding the whole thing in. So I'm going to have to go full gorilla on this and try to break some of these joints loose. I'm hoping some of those dowels will just come out, or some of the brads will just come out. Full gorilla. And now I think I can take my punch. Have a better chance of getting that thing to come out of there. Okay, what I'm doing now is marking these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that I can remember they're all different. These two are the same size, these two are the same size, and these two are the same size, but they're fit. You know, they may not be identical in the fit down here and here. So this bow right here is the thing we have to fix. Now let's look at how it's constructed. How it's constructed is it's got these little 1-inch thick plies of oak that are bent around the frame and glued. Of course, and then once we duplicate this frame and get it all sanded down nice, then we can copy these holes. Now I'm cutting these strips off. Let me show you the board I'm using. Now this is plain sawn oak. You can see that here, but right along this edge, right along that edge, you can see how the grain is straight. That's where there's a curve in the tree rings, and right in here it straightens out and becomes quarter sawn, and so that's where we're taking our strips from. And so what that'll do on our strips, you can see the grain goes straight through the piece. It doesn't cut over to the side here, so the grain is going all the way through. And what I'm doing is I'm simply moving my fence a 1/4 inch each time, and then when you subtract the width of the blade, that makes my strips just about right. If I was going to do a bunch of these, I'd make a fancy jig, but all I got here is just screws, running to the table, and I'll bend our frame around those screws. Okay, these are the ones that come out to the right width. So what I'm going to do is lay them all out here. Put glue on them. Give this scheme a try. Now what I'll do is I'll just stack these up. My jig didn't work, and now I've got to build a jig. I've got to build a jig when my glue is drying. And I think I about got that other side, but this side over here is probably going to. This side over here is going to probably be set, and the whole thing will be a redo. Well, the nails or the screws I put in there didn't work. So I just built this little jig with the little blocks in, and spin it around the blocks. We'll let that dry some, take it out and see if it worked. Got that glue up done, and I've got it propped up here against the original. Make sure it's the same shape. Now what we've got to do is go around and put round it over so it's like the original. I got the bow smoothed over, starting to look like the original. Let's look at the next job. The next thing I have to do is, they call it shaping the tenon. I have to shape this tenon here. It goes from the original piece here that's about an inch and an eighth, and it goes down to just over 3/4. I do that with a tool called a tenon cutter, and this is a practice piece right here. Now let's see how it works. This is a tenon it puts on there. I'm gonna dress it up a little bit, but because this tenon is an inch and I'm gonna have about 7/8, so I'll have to sand it down a little bit. That's how the new bow is going to sit up in there. I still have to sand down a little bit more on these ends so that the bow goes down into those mortises. There's our bow. I got it trimmed down. Now what we have to do is drill these holes into the bow. So you can see, I'm using this spade bit instead of my other bit's not very sharp, and I'll try to copy that angle. So let's give it a whirl. That isn't very sharp either. It's a different bit. It doesn't look any sharper, but we'll see. Well, I got all the holes in. I'll make that one a little deeper. Let's see if we can put this thing together. I couldn't get them in that way, so I'm going to take them out of the bottom, stick them in the frame. Well, we got our bow to work. I'll go ahead and take it apart and clean up the joints and get ready to finish the bow, and we'll be on a roll. In the original, they have brads stuck up in here, and I'm not going to second guess them. I'm going to put brads in myself. On the original, you remember the wedges actually protruded out. They were proud of the end of the tenon. We're going to do the same thing on our. Okay, what I'll do is drive this in, and then I'll cut it off with a dovetail saw down to where it was before. Another interesting feature of this construction was that each one of these two dowels here have a screw going in right there. And I don't know if they pre-drilled on theirs, but I'm going to pre-drill mine. Doing some final sanding on it, kind of blend it together, so I'm going to put natural stain on it, and I want it to kind of match. And like I said, we're going to let these wedges stick out proud of the end of the tenon. But I'm going to cut them off at about the level they were on the original. We've used this thing on other projects. You know, it's a little sander, but it's got the little triangular pads on there, and you can really get into the corners and stuff. I bought it. I thought it was kind of a gimmick, but it works good. I'm staining it with this color here called Natural. I think that's the original color of the chair. And I'll just wipe it on just to repair and any place where I sanded. Well, there's our chair for Memphis Monday 196. Basically, the repair was to replace that bow. Slightly different color, but I don't know if you can see it from back here, but it don't look bad that way. Well, that does it for another Memphis Monday 196. Today we repaired this bow back chair. Specifically, we made a new bow, slightly different color than the original, but the saving grace is it still looks good. So I'm okay with that. So I think I'm pretty satisfied. So make sure you comment and like and favorite and Facebook and all the stuff you do on the internet. Most important, make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.